So I've been asked the question plenty of times, have the chickens made the move with you? And the answer is yes, they have. In fact, I gathered them up one by one morning and I put them in the back of my vehicle inside Roxy's dog crate and I brought them over. So today I wanted to show you my chicken coop and chicken run. So let's take a look at it. Here's a look at the entire chicken run and coop. The coop's back there. I'll show you the run first. What I did is I went to Tractor Supply and I bought 18 of these 6-foot T-posts and I drove those into the ground using a sledgehammer. And then I took a 100-foot roll of 48-inch welded wire and I put that the whole way around their entire run. So the dimensions of this are almost 100 feet. You got 30 feet back here, 15, 30, and 15. So I used 90 feet of the 100-foot fence, and they have a pretty big area, much larger than what most chickens I have, I think. And then this is my gate. What I did with this is I used an 8-foot 4x4, which I sawed down to 6 foot, and I have this 2 feet into the ground, so it's very sturdy. And then my gate, I built a similar gate to my last one. This is a 2x1, or I think it's a 4x1, and then this is a 1x1, and then I just put some screws at the top of that, and then I put a nice hinge right here, which pops right open, perfectly aligned, which really makes me happy. I love how smooth that action is. Going inside here, you can see my run, and there's actually grass in here for now. They've been in here for about a week, and I don't know how long that's gonna last, but for right now, they have a lot of nice grass to be in. Now for the coop, this is an interesting thing that I bought. Now I don't really have any kind of carpentry skills, and I knew I wanted a sizable chicken coop to accommodate 6 chickens, and I really couldn't find anything online that was made of wood that I could build. So I went online to this place called Zorro.com, and they had this. This is a Suncast storage shed, and this is basically meant to hold 2 trash cans, and it seals up real nice. And I thought, you know what, that would make the perfect chicken coop. And I'll kind of show you how this thing works. It has the doors on the front, which both of these open, and then it has this thing that opens. So I just kind of keep this like that throughout the day, and then I close it at night. But this lid lifts up, and it has these gas shocks on it, so it opens up perfectly. And then down inside here, I put what was left over for my gate, and then I put a couple pieces that were left over from the rest of the gate, and I made a nice little perch for them. And they go back here and they lay eggs. As you can see, I switched from the straw that I used to use, and now I'm using the pine shavings, and I think that works so much better. They stay a lot drier, it seems, and I think it harbors less mold and all kinds of diseases and stuff like that, so I'm happy with that. The only downside of my setup is they're pooping on that and that because they kind of creep to the sides over here, but that is okay. I clean this out maybe once a week. I've cleaned it out once now. As you can see, there's lots of feathers in there. But yeah, it's really nice how this comes down and it seals up perfectly. One thing I do at night is I leave this cracked a little bit. I usually put a wedge in there just to leave a little bit of ventilation so it's not super hot in there. And I think what I may end up having to do is drill through this and put a nice little vent in there, because even in the wintertime they produce a lot of moisture, so you want to have some nice ventilation. But I'm not really willing to drill into this just yet until I figure things out. And speaking of that, this is kind of a work in progress, so if what you see here may not always be the way it is, but for right now it is. And that's one thing that I want to mention back here. I did have the chicken coop really far back. I had it like with just a foot back here, but then I noticed that the chickens were like loving it back here, and they would always stand back here, and on the side I think they like this as protection. So I moved it out a little bit, and that gives them a nice little spot that they can hide back here and do what they want to do. And that's where they've really decimated the grass. You can see how much they really got into it. This was perfect back here before, but now they're really digging into it and doing their dirt baths and stuff. But they're out here and they're doing okay. Everybody made the move, and that was probably the worst part of it. When I put them in the back of the car, one of them took a crap, and as I was driving them over here, it was just like, oh my God, it's like the worst smell ever. And then Cody had to help me carry him out here in the crate. It was interesting. I probably should have filmed it, but it was just too much going on to also video. So there's my chicken setup, and I guess, I didn't show you the food area. This is kind of what I'm just doing for now. Got some food in there, and then their water's right there. This may be an issue when it comes to rain. I think what I'm gonna do is I have an extra one of these, and I'm gonna put it over the top of that, so it should cover it from all the rain. And the crazy thing is we really haven't had any rain since I've been over here, so I don't know how this is all gonna work. I don't know how this is gonna work in the rain, especially if I leave it open a little bit. So the ventilation might be necessary, but we'll figure it all out. So far, so good. And I guess that's the tour of my chicken coop and chicken run. And it works. And I want to show you something else. The reason that it's so far away from the house, you can see how far I have to walk to come down here to get inside here. I'm going to show you from up on the deck why I like having it here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but if you come up on the deck and you look out, they are right down there. I have this on wide angle, so it's a lot closer than what it actually is. But I can see them from inside the house. I can see them walking around in their run, and it's really nice. So it makes me really happy.